Let's look at this particular question under inverse and composite functions. So this question came in the year 2020, paper 1, GCE, question number 12. Let's see how we answer this particular question. A function f is defined by f of x equals to 2x minus 5. Find, number 1, the inverse function of f of x. Number b, the f function, inverse function of f of 2. Number c, the value of x if the function f of x equals to x. Let's get started. So question number 1, we need to find the inverse function of f of x. So what you do is to first write the function f. The f function we know is this one here, and we're going to say the f of x equals to 2x minus 5, after which we follow along. So first we need to check y represent f of x. So we're going to say y equals to 2x minus 5. Second, we're going to swap where there is y, we'll put x, and where there is x, we're going to put y. And we're going to have x equals to 2y minus 5, after which we make y the subject of the formula. If we do so, we're going to have something like x, we bring the minus 5 this side to be plus 5. We're going to have 2y this side. And as you may be able to see, we're going to divide by 2. We're going to have x plus 5 over 2 equals to y. So we see here that y equals to x plus 5 over 2. But we know y is standing in for this particular question. So where there is y, we're going to put the inverse function of f of x. And finally, the answer will be the inverse function of f of x equals to x plus 5 over 2, and this is the solution. Now the second question, let's look at the second question. The second question wants us to find the f function of the inverse function of f of 2. So what does this simply mean? Well, this simply means in this particular f function, so first of all, we're going to write the f function, and the f function is f of x equals to 2x minus 5. This is what you're going to write. After writing this, then remember, in the f function, where there is x, we're going to put the inverse function of f of 2. So we're going to say this is the inverse function of, this is the f function of f inverse of f of 2, and we're going to say, okay, in the f function we know the f function is this one, so I'm going to put this particular question here. Now the inverse function we already have is right here. The inverse function is already here. This is the inverse function of f of x equals to x plus 5 over 2. So what we're going to write first is basically, before we even substitute 2, we're going to put the f function of inverse of f of x equals to, we know to say this will be 2, where there is x, we're going to put the inverse of f of x, which is x plus 5 over 2. So I'm going to say x plus 5 over 2. We close, then we say minus 5 because we're substituting here. Once this is done, we're going to now actually, substitute. Where there is x in this particular function, we put this 2. So I'm going to say f function of f inverse of x. In this case, we're going to put the 2 where there is x, and of course we're going to say 2. We open 2 plus 5 over 2. Observe we're going to have something like this, then say minus 5. Then go down, we're going to say f function of inverse function of f of 2. This will give us, we see that we're going to have 2. We open the parenthesis, 2 plus 5, that's 7 over 2, close, minus 5. When I simplify further, we're going to have something like, the 2 will cancel out. Then you have 7, take away 5. And finally, the f function of inverse function of f of 2 equals to 7, take away 5, that's 2. And this is the answer. So this is how you go about this particular question. Let's move on to question